Alright, I'm back with another White Forest profile. This is roughly the deck I've been playing all week with a couple new changes. Um, I did try Cartesia tonight, and the one time I drew it, it didn't do anything, so I took her back out for a third board breaker of Raigeki. Um, but overall, uh, in total, playing no hand traps this week as a board breaker deck. My record for 8 rounds is 4, 2 draws, 2 losses. We'll get into tonight's games as we go through it, but overall, I feel confident in it. The games I drew were my own fault because I wasn't paying attention to time. My only 2 losses were both to Malice, and I'm starting to figure out how to play against that deck better without having hand traps. So, um, essentially, we'll get into it and just show you what I was playing roughly today. So, still playing the 3 Sylvies. Um, they're just really good. I don't really have a good answer for you about them, but just as a whole, they're just good cards. They're your starter, and you need them. Um, we're playing 3D Bellstar because she's also a starter, and she lets me go into Azamina really hard. We're going into 3 LZs because they're the last starter. So between her and Sylvie, you really get to go really far, and she just makes so many plays by herself. She's just the best starter. We have 2 Rusia still. I just like having the free special summon. The draw effect doesn't get used to any great degree, but it's still useful. But if I can summon LZ, special this, it leaves me for a normal later in the turn if needed. But for most part, this deck just doesn't care about normal summons. It wants to special. So if, let's say, LZ gets negated and I have Rusia, I can just normal summon LZ, summon Rusia, and still at least get some plays out of it. Elza Azamina, because she's the reason the deck's playable, in my opinion. Pure. 1 queen, and 1 Stellar. I am playing a grand total of 16 monsters. And the only non-White Forest cards are the 3 Diabell Star and the 1 Queen Azamina. So everything else has the White Forest name to it. So it's 12 White Forest monsters, 3 Azamina, and then the 3 Diabell Star. I maybe eventually decide to play a third LZ Azamina of the White Forest or a second Stellar, but I'm really just still waiting for the Nightmare Apprentice to play. I can't play those at local because they're proxies, but when I finally get to it, I will. I'm playing Called By. Instant Fusion for the Millennium Eyes Called By play. There's an extra card in there, the extra deck today for that. Still playing 1 Triple Tactic, 1 Hollowed, 1 Sinful, spoils Subversion. We move Struggles into the main. We're still playing 2 Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. We're still playing... actually, we've upped this. We went to 2 Deceptions because getting it banished on Tuesday and not being able to do anything kind of sucked, so I just upped it. We're still playing the 2 Triple Tactics Thrust. We're still playing 2 Debtors. This card's just really good. Every time I've opened this, it just goes really, really hard. It's one of the cards that might be worth playing 3 just because it's absolutely worth playing with the amount of Sinful Spoil cards I play in the deck anyways. Playing 2 Tails because I'm playing 2 of these. I actually opened it multiple games today in the opening hand, which really helped out. So this might go to 3, but it's just a really bad draw if you don't have a body. And unfortunately, because I'm playing such a low monster count, the bodies aren't always there. The typical 3 Wanted, because Wanted is just the best way to get it to a starter without just hard opening the starter. And then for the board breakers, we're playing 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Book of Eclipse, which I didn't draw at all today, so I'm not sure if that's going to work out or not. 3 Regeki, and 3 Forbidden Droplet, which I also only drew once today, and I actually discarded it for something else. Side deck, we moved Evenly Matched to the sideboard and upped it to 3. We're still playing 3 Lancia, 3 Soul Drain, because you can get rid of it with your own monsters, 3 Solemn Strike, because this card's just really good, and the last card I threw in today, which it didn't do as much as I wanted, but I really didn't play decks that it actually matters against either, because I played Malice twice today, and I had 1 Malice win, 1 Malice loss, but it's a Gravekeeper's Inscription. So the idea is this stops Binder, but it also completely shuts off the fiendsmith engine. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have another way to put it. It hits Mitsurugi, it hits fiendsmith, it hits a little bit of Malice, it hits Crystron, it hits the mirror match. It's really good against a lot of decks, and I don't mind giving up my ability to use graveyard effects for a turn if it means I can just blow my opponent out, especially with the effect that I'm just going really, really fusion heavy and relying on my spells to play the game. Which, playing a bunch of spells also makes it really hard for my opponent to interact with me, because a lot of hand traps deal with monsters. The extra deck is still 1 SP, 1 Typhoon. I did summon both of those today. 1 Millennium's Eye Strict. I did not summon that at all. It's still good if I draw it. The new additional Insta-Fusion target, we went back to Chorozo, because I can make it and I can Insta-Fusion it now. So if I don't draw anything except like an Insta-Fusion and something that requires a body, that's my Spellcaster and Tuner. We're still playing the 1 Sylvie, the 1 Resliago, the 1 Soul, the 1 Regina, the 1 Azamina. I did summon her once today, and it actually won me the game, just because my opponent couldn't deal with it. It wasn't even that it did anything, it just, they scooped because they had 0 answers in the deck for it. We went back to Zapper Shrimp, because I like Zapper. There was one game where I wish I had it, so I could quick into Angel, Severa, Resilia, Diabel, Chaos Angel, and my newest tech card that I would hoping to start playing with hard, and I think is a good addition because of this White Force spells. We're going to try Bryonic Dragon of the Ice Barrier, because discarding some spell cards to activate his effect seems like a really good idea. So let's say I discard 2 to return 2 things. Even if he does get negated or something, I get those cards back. So it's literally just a free compulsory on a body. And then, as normal, Gandor, Field Center, and my 3 tokens. Overall, I'm enjoying the board breaker route. It is proving to actually be super useful, and the more I get comfortable with the board breaking version, plus when I get my 3 apprentice magicians, I did order a 3rd one, and once I get them all in there to make it more consistent for the illusion searches, I genuinely believe this deck will be super strong as a board breaker deck. And for anyone wondering what cards I might take out, I'm 90% sure we'll go take out 2 Book of Eclipses, and Regeki will go to 2, and that'll be all 3 of my apprentice magicians. Putting my monster count up to 19, and putting my spell count from I think 27, because I'm playing 43 cards, to 24 spells. No, I'm not playing any of the traps. I'm still contemplating playing maybe a simple spoil trap. I'm still genuinely making the deck to go second, so it is literally just board breaker deck and trying to OTK with Sylvia and whatever Azamina monsters I can get on the board. I OTK'd twice a day with Soul and Queen, because between 2 of those with Sylvia, that's 10,000 plus damage. So that is what we're trying to go with. I'm going to attempt to build a Snake Eyes variant playing Dramatic Snake Eyes Chase, because I think this card's cool. And yeah, when I get that built and maybe test it out some, we'll throw it up. And then I also have a couple other non-meta decks I think will be fun to show off once I get them more figured out. So thank you for watching, and I know this one's a little faster and doesn't explain as much, but my last two videos kind of gone more in depth. So have a good day.